welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm doing a vintage cube draft. There's a Mox Ruby in this pack that is pretty clearly the take. Very sad to pass Tinker. I think I've done 14 or 15 drafts before I was able, since the last time I was able to take a Tinker. I haven't even looked at it in my last 13 or 14 drafts. It's not a card I pass often, but Mox Ruby's better. I am recording this draft in the window where Modern Horizons 3 will be out soon, but I record so far ahead that there will be a dead period if I don't do a format not affected by Modern Horizons 3. You might not see this for weeks or months. I don't know. I just got to keep my productivity up. Got to record something. Okay, so here's what's going on here. Patreon subscriber Femi has a soft challenge running in the background that if I trophy with Aggro, I get a bonus. Or I could take a card that I'm excited about. Thalia is pretty powerful thing to build a white deck around. And I have Mox Ruby accelerating out these aggro threats. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the aggro challenge. I don't normally like forcing archetypes or anything of the sort, but I did a warm-up draft where I ended up Big Boros and trophied. Off camera, obviously, missing the bounty, but I at least know how the deck works for the most part. Winds of Abandon is a good removal spell. Ragavan is a good threat. I even have the Mox Ruby, so the red splash off of white is already kind of there. Umezawa's Jitte is really good, though. I think it's better than Ragavan. There's only one Jitte in the cube. There's lots of 1-drops that attack. Alright, I'm taking the Jitte. And Arid Mesa already went by as well, which is tough for my hopes to be Boros. I mean, it's fine, but that's just the nut fetch land. In this pack, we have Arc Trail, which is really good, an efficient removal spell. We've got Death Greeter Champion, which is very likely to wheel, but does hit like a truck. Touch the Spirit Realm is a removal spell and also a cool trick. It's a removal spell that can also save your creatures from removal. I think I want Touch the Spirit Realm here. That just does the most out of the options available. Opens up cool flicker synergies and stuff, which is part of what's supported by white in the cube. There's Blightsteel Colossus to go with that Tinker that I picked, or that I passed on. Pick one. Sad. And we're nowhere near that anymore, but I do love that. Rabble Master's powerful, but there's a lot of powerful 3s in the cube for attacking. Even Interrupter is a cool new card that I haven't played with yet, and counter spells are not that common in Mono White or Boros, or wherever we end up. I think I want this one. Elspeth, Shadowy Backstreet, Spars HQ, Namesticker Goblin. This pack's pretty bad. Horizon Canopy is a cantrip, or a land that becomes a card later, which is pretty good in aggro specifically. Shadowy Backstreet could facilitate being black-white, and also is just a selection land with white on it. I think Elspeth is kind of bad and replaceable. Yeah, I think I want the Horizon Canopy out of this mediocre pack. Lingering Souls with no look at black yet. Tough Cookie. 2-mana 2/2 makes a food. Target non-creature artifact becomes a 4/4. And that's something I could work with. I do have Horizon Canopy that taps for green. Bonehorde Dracosaur is like the king of the top of the curve in Big Boros. I'm not excited about this pack or this pick, but Bonehorde Dracosaur, let's go. Hero of Bladehold is exactly that classic white top-end finisher. Unholy Heat is fine, but again, burn spells are pretty replaceable. Okay, top of my curve exists now. I don't really want to put Wrath of God in my white aggro deck. Agatha's Soul Cauldron is passive Graveyard Hate and passive other stuff. Nothing in this deck is really good, or in this pack's really good for me. I guess Nissa is comparable to Bonehorde Dragon, and we don't know what my second color is yet. Creature of the Schism, also fine. I'll take Nissa and hope I don't have to play her. Oh god. Well, Regrowth and Llanowar Elf both wheeled, suddenly indicating that maybe green is more open than I want it to be. Let's get a little green package building out over here. Dreadhorde Arcanist pairs extremely well with burn spells. Cauldra could go with this Jitte if Stoneforge gets opened. There's a good chance I get it if it's opened. Who else wants that? I'm going to take Cauldra on spec. Mutagenic Growth. I mean, I'm not excited about this card, but here it is. Yavimaya, in case I end up doing this green thing. Yavimaya plus Nissa makes all my lands double. Tarmogoyf is a big ol' homie, but I think I'd rather support the splash like this if we're going to do it at all. Okay. Looks kind of thin here, but green showing signs that maybe there's something to do. There's a Mox Emerald, further supporting green or just generic ramp in an aggro deck. Gut Trucial Zealot's really good. We're not getting this Academy back. I don't even know how well we'd use it. Luminarch Aspirant, Gut Trucial Zealot, and possibly Ephemerate are all cards I'd be happy to see on the wheel, but I'm just taking this Mox, obviously. Skyclave Apparition, Windswept Teeth. I think those are my choices. I don't have enough red spells to leverage a runaway Steamkin. Windswept Teeth facilitates various splashes extremely well. Skyclave Apparition is a 3-drop that kills something when it comes in. I'm gonna support my mana here. This green stuff is looking more likely than this single red card right now. Okay, we've got Bristly Bill. That is an aggressive threat in green. We've got Magda and Slickshot, both of which are reasonable 2-drops in red. I think with this Llanowar Elf and Nissa, this might be Selesnya Beats. I see this Gaia's Cradle. I'm not really in a spot to leverage it. Or does any deck with creatures just automatically leverage it? I think I'm going to take Bristly Bill. Controversial, like Gaia's Cradle is clearly the most powerful card in this pack, but I'm going to try this Selesnya deck that I've never drafted in my life. Okay, put these cards in. Take this Dracosaur to the sideboard. Could be Naya. We'll see. Garruk Titania, Thraben Inspector. The problem with Garruk and Nissa at the top end is they don't combo well with the Thalia that I second pick. But I do think Garruk is a fine card to play. And I'm not going to just have Thalia every single turn, every single game. And I have 2 Mox in my deck to accelerate out these Planeswalkers. Not in a spot to leverage Fast Bond. Alright, I'm staking my claim on green here. Endurance Karn, Student of Warfare, Avacyn's Pilgrim. Avacyn's Pilgrim, the perfect mana dork. Endurance meets my needs for emergency interaction while also being a reasonable card. I'm going to go with that. Adeline, Resplendent Cathar, hell yeah. Ending's fine, Metamorph's fine. I'd rather have Adeline. Channel Scavenging Ooze, Ren and 6 Dak Faden, green fetch. Lots of good cards here. Dak Faden is 2 colors that I'm not. I don't think splashing red for Ren and 6 really makes sense. I'm not really channeling anything. Sanguine Evangelist is a replacement level 3-drop, and Verdant Catacombs is an on-color fetch land. Alright, I'm taking Catacombs. And look at this. Green and white cards going nuts right at the end here, indicating that I'm in the right spot. Staff of the Storyteller. I do have a bunch of ways to make tokens. That's not really where I want to be. Outland Liberator. Having Disenchants just in the cube is really good. This Lush Portico is awesome. It's on color. I have 2 ways to fetch it, but I think I'd rather fill out my curve with a reasonable creature at this point. Wow, I caught Ancient Tomb on the wheel? I was not expecting to see that one again. Right in the deck you go. Enlightened Tutor gets Umezawa's Jitte. Silent Clearing, another on-color Horizon land. Half color. I'm not playing Steamkin, I'm not playing Mindstone. I could take Enlightened Tutor on spec for what might happen in pack 3, or I could just take the land. Taking the land. Unexpectedly Absent. It's ugly, but it's a removal spell. Titania on the wheel. I like her better than the Sunbaked Canyon. Student of Warfare is fine. This deck is definitely fairer and chunkier than I normally play, but I do have Ruby, Emerald, and Ancient Tomb to just power out some nonsense. This Cauldra is still on spec. It's not in the deck yet. Seachrome Coast, Caustic Bronco. Bronco to the sideboard. If I can somehow support that, I'd play it. I'm not going to make specific efforts to do that, though. Lotus Petal, alright, I mean, probably in the deck. It's the get out ahead and stay there game plan. And we've opened Black Lotus in pack 3. Yeah, I'll take that. Giver of Runes, the Stoneforge. Oh no, the spec. Maybe I'll wheel it. Hoping for the best. Hope nobody else is interested in that. But I'm obviously taking Black Lotus and adding it to the explosive mana this deck already has. Kind of a tilt that they use the Alpha art Black Lotus, but then the MTGO art Moxen. What did we do to deserve this? Okay, Blade Splicer, generic curve filler. I don't think I'm a good library deck. I want to be dumping out my hand on turn 1 most of the time. Monastery Mentor, not a combo with Thalia. Torsten's really big, but that'll wheel if it's going to be around. I don't know. It's not that important to me. This is between Blade Splicer and Monastery Mentor to me. And I do have 4 0-drop artifacts in this deck that can leverage a Mentor. Blade Splicer works with Touch the Spirit Realm. Mentor triggering off Planeswalkers is really hilarious to me. I'm going to take Mentor. I also think Blade Splicer is more likely to wheel. Underworld Breach, I could take that and maybe splash Breach combo if there's a Brain Freeze in this final pack. My perfect on-color duel is here. Broadside Bombardiers on a currently unsupported splash. I'd have to cast it off Ruby or Lotus or Petal, which is kind of a lot of sources, but I don't think it's better than just the on-color duel. Dismember is also good for my deck. Ooh, that Dismember is tempting. I don't have much going on for removal right now. I'm taking Savannah, though. You can't talk me out of it. We've got Kasali Pride Mage, another Outland Liberator style effect. Figure of Destiny, I'm not in the correct colors. I'm going to have a lot of green in my deck, and having a figure in play when you have like Plains Forest is super embarrassing. Timeless Dragon is fine. I'm taking Pride Mage. Eureka, I'm not playing that. Adonto Vanguard, not really what I'm interested in. Railway Brawler might be good, though. Yeah, this is the kind of top-end Insano that I would love to Black Lotus into. Chromatic Star is filler, but my deck doesn't need it. Adonto Vanguard, my deck's got 2s. I'm not a Sunfall strategy. Yeah, I'll take the Brawler. Another Nissa. A Trumpeting Carnosaur on the splash. Sensei's Top. Yeah, I guess it's just other Nissa here. Sylvan Safekeeper, Time Warp. Jetmir's Garden is another fetchable duel. I don't think I'm playing Sylvan Safekeeper in this deck. Time Warp off the Lotus. Are we doing it? I don't think so. This would be a great Time Warp deck if I was even in the neighborhood of casting it, which I'm not. Yeah, I guess it's just Jetmir's Garden. There's not much else going on here for me. Relic Warder and Brawler and Relic of Progenitus. Relic Warder gives me a 3rd Disenchant Dingus on 2. At some point it's diminishing returns, but also just having access to that reliably is exciting. Brawler can only be 3 power in my deck. Yeah, I'm taking the Relic Warder. Steel Seraph is like fine. Caught the Stoneforge on the wheel. We did it, folks. Identifying a lane that nobody else wants, like seeing the Cauldra as late as I did in pack 1, and here we are on the wheel in pack 3 getting paid out for doing that. Caudra's in the deck now. I can tutor Nettlecyst, and none of these other cards are even good. I'm probably not playing Nettlecyst. I don't have... Oh, no, I have a bunch of Moxen. Maybe it's good enough. I don't know. I'll just put it in the pile for now. Spirit Guide versus Collector's Cage. Collector's Cage is an interesting card that I have not played with yet. Not getting to Titan. Sure, I'll take the Cage. Might not make the deck. I'll take Firebolt. Probably not in the deck. Virtue of Persistence. Just taking anything that is a removal spell in case I have to get super Flame Slash. In case I have to get super greedy on this in sideboarding. If somebody's like just slightly faster than me in a way that is really disruptive, I do have a bunch of red removal in my sideboard now. And I do have a Jetmir's Garden that I can fetch in multiple ways. And I have Mox Ruby, Black Lotus, Lotus Petal, so I can support red removal if I really want to. Hope I don't need to. Okay, with 11 lands, 2 Moxen, that's basically 13 mana sources here. Stable mana sources that I can count on. Mutagenic Growth sucks. That's an easy cut. There are some easy cuts here. Growth, Nettlecyst. Student might be hard to level up, but I think it's probably fine. I need at least 2 more cuts, probably 3, to be really happy. Relic Warder, Outland Liberator, and Kasali Pride Mage is 3 of a lot of the same thing. Collector's Cage. I don't want to be slow enough for Collector's Cage. If I'm play against a matchup with a bunch of Wraths or something, maybe I can board that in. Relic Warder is the hardest to cast of my 3 Disenchant creatures, but it's the one that stays in play. The other ones I have to sacrifice. I think I'll board in Relic Border if I need more of that. All right, now I'm at 15 actual lands plus all these mana sources and Llanowar Elves. I think that's enough mana. Are my spells what I want them to be? With Lotus, Ruby, and Fetchable Red, do I want Firebolt and Flame Slash in this main deck? I think I want to keep these red removal spells as sideboard options and just focus on jamming in game 1, and then I can react if I need to. All right, it's green-white aggressive permanents with tons of busted mana. Let's see if it works. Very far out of my wheelhouse, but looks solid to me. Here we go. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the play in round 1 with a hand that has an insane amount of mana. This is a turn 2 Titania with a land to return. I'm going to keep. I can't quite turn 1 Garruk here. I think I'm just going to Verdant Catacombs pass and look softer than I am. This gets punished by like Thalia or Sphere or discard effects, but I don't think they'd be discarding my Moxen anyway. I can't even tell what this is. Literally, what is this? Okay. All right. It's a swamp. Blood Tithe Harvester. Okay. And here I can fetch Jetmir's Garden and then just bust. 2, 3, 4, 5 mana suddenly. You thought you were doing good with that Blood Tithe Harvester. What do you think about Titania? With a fetch land ready to go. Fetch. Make a 5/3. Get Savannah. Go. Pretty good second turn. Cycling Oliphant. Okay. What's crazy about my start is even if they reanimate that Oliphant, I am not worried about it. They milled an Atali, though. I'm a little worried about that. Umazawa's Jitte. Wowie. Okay. What's the best way to use all of my resources here? If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, cast Garruk, I can untap the lands, and then I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. That's so much. Garruk, get in there. Untap the lands. And then do I want a Jitte or do I want to hold up Aven Interrupter? I could do both. I can't equip Jitte and hold up Interrupter. I think I'm just going to cast Jitte, hold up Interrupter, and overrun them to death next turn. And no attack here should, like, no play, no attack, no equip. And they have Entomb. This is why I held up the counterspell. They clearly have some busted angles to their deck. Bind and Archon of Cruelty. And held up the counterspell. I'll take that, please. They can't play it till next turn, and it costs more when they do. Black Lotus, not helpful. Okay, 5, 10, 12, plus 9. This is 21. They'll be at 19. It's not perfect, but I'm going to send it. Overrun. Attack with my creatures. They just take a bunch of damage. They go to 1. I have Jitte counters. They can Exhume next turn. I might as well play out my Lotus. And now I have to beat an Archon of Cruelty, or they can't really Atali. I mean, if they think they can Atali, that's awesome for me, but they can't actually Atali because I have Aven Interrupter, which is spells cost 2 more from graveyards or exile. If they miss on that, that's actually really good. Yeah, Exhume happens. And Archon's not lethal here. They go to 4. I have 2 attackers that are both still lethal. The Grizzlebrand's a little scary. I haven't done the math yet. No, I have 8 damage through a Grizzlebrand. That's fine. I actually just have all of these creatures covered, unless they have follow-up with their hand still. They went with Archon. That kills the elemental token. Uh-oh. Another spell. Oh, Jesus. All right, yeah, that was... that's a bit much. I could still draw one of my disenchant creatures and win this. Or my 1 removal spell. Thalia, I needed you last turn. Okay, I think I've lost. Wow, what a great start, and just a little short at the very end. This attacks as a 6/6 with Jitte. which doesn't beat Grizzlebrand. Wow, gross. Yeah, and I'm just dead on the backswing. Nice recovery. Yeah, all right. Opponent's got an insanely powerful deck. Relic Warder is coming in. I've seen at least one hit for that. Thalia, high importance. Endurance is my graveyard hate. It's already in. Touch the Spirit Realm, unexpectedly absent, also already in. Is it Railway Brawler? This has Reach and Trample. Both of those words can be pretty important. Student of Warfare might be. This game's probably not about chip damage and small creatures. This has a turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic, and I can answer a Reanimated Jerk. I'll try it. I'm really scared of this deck, though. This is what I worry about when I draft decks like this one. It's, what if my opponent is truly busted, and I just don't have a Spell Pierce or anything anywhere in my life? Oh, God. They have Library in their Reanimator deck. They can just Library turn 1, go to discard, and Reanimate on turn 2. That's so cheesy. All right. I'll get Cauldra here and probably die. And Library functioning as Entomb. Library's bad enough on its own. What a nightmare. Maybe they won't have any black mana. Ruby, Library. +2 cards. Functionally +3 cards thanks to the discard. Locthwain Scorn. Okay, that kills that. And that is a Reanimator later. Oh no. Starting to break off. Bad news, folks. Representing Endurance. Please play around it. Animate dead. That's going to happen. You're 7 right away. I hope they don't have Grief or Unmask. But the discard is probably enough to load up a second monster, second Reanimate. Discarded an Archon, a Troll, and a bunch of lands. Oh, I could have plotted Railway Brawler last turn. I forgot that's a thing. Okay. Yeah, definitely behind, partially, because I don't know how to play cards. Let's get this Grizzlebrand out of here. Yeah, I could have attacked for 5 there. Damn. Exhume. I briefly get back Stoneforge Mystic, and then it dies to the Archon trigger. I will get my Jitte, and then discard Forest. And they tap their Library. Just a giant middle finger. And Virtue comes on very soon. Mentor, interesting. Mentor can tread water ahead of a Archon of Cruelty. I don't get many hits out of this thing before I'm dead. Oh no, the Bloodtithe Harvester just beats it. Okay. I've lost. I could have plotted the Railway Brawler, but I'm completely outclassed by the quality and angle of my opponent's deck. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the play in round 2 with a turn 1 Garruk Wildspeaker. I'm going to keep, to the surprise of nobody. I'm going to fetch Savannah and make a beast. And then next turn, I can cast Stoneforge and Pride Mage and hope that's good enough. Forest from the opponent. And they just pass back. All right, good news, everybody. Oh, maybe I'll just cast Hero of Bladehold. Is that card good? I should do this second main, but I've already started clicking. This is a pretty good start versus Forest Go. This is where they channel Emrakul me. It's going to be one of those leagues. Lotus Cobra, not a channel, notably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could cast Cauldra right now. Should I do that? Is that... How deadly is that? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is exactly enough to Cauldra. Haste creature, pretty exciting. Cauldra complete. Here we come. In with the squad. Make sure to stack my triggers correctly so the 1/1s come into play before the Battlecry trigger. And you are at exactly 0. Cool. All right. That one worked. Opponent didn't reanimate a monster on me. It appears to be some sort of green deck. We saw Forest, Lotus Cobra. I don't think that's enough for me to splash my red removal for, but this is the type of matchup where I want to be aware that's an option. Just going to submit my deck again and dumpster their face. I am going to mulligan this, not because it doesn't work, but because my deck has so much busted mana that I have a good chance of finding some if I just am willing to look for it. Hand got worse. Mulligan. Oh no. Oh no. I'm getting punished for my greed. Fine, I'll keep this terrible hand. This is a slightly accelerated Hero of Blade Hold. If I draw another Mox, it's on turn 2. X Drinker. Mox Jet. Leveling up the Drinker. Okay. Verdant Catacombs. Okay, I can start to fix my colors. I'll get the Jetmir's Garden there. Okay, Ancient Tomb, Black Lotus, any Mox, all cast Hero of Blade Hold this turn. A lot of good hits. And they have Hex Drinker and Elvish Mystic. I'm going to fetch to get my F6 value. Jetmir's Garden's in play. Forest. No. Alright. Yeah, the mulligan didn't work out, but I think that when your hand has 3 hits to accelerate, you don't need to just keep lands and spell kind of hands. Railway Brawler. They're showing me what's what now. Yeah, I'm just so dead here. They accelerated twice while I did none. That would have been good last turn. Alright, I'll play Hero of Blade Hold and see if there's any universe where I can catch up. That's a lot worse. It's the same turn 3 Hero of Blade Hold. Or no, it was turn 2 last game. X Drinker can get all the way up. Put me to 1. Bloodstained Mire. I'll just block Elvish Mystic. Oh wait, no, that puts me to dead. Alright, never mind. Alright, super dead. Tough mulligan into a good start from the opponent. I'm on the play this time. Do I want these red cards in? I think they are extremely effective against my opponent, but I also think they're just going to die if I do anything. Student of Warfare is kind of the worst card. Maybe that should just be Flame Slash in the deck. I might make that change permanently in the sideboard. Okay, I am making that change. Okay, not much of a follow-up, but I can cast 4 spells on turn 1, so I'm going to keep it. Black Lotus, Mox Ruby, make white, play Thalia first, and then play Outland Liberator, and it's daytime. They have to cast a spell on turn 1 or it becomes nighttime, and I start chewing stuff up. They do have a spell. Do I have a spell? Not yet. I just have damage. Hope it holds. Becomes nighttime. I have a 3/3 now that eats artifacts and enchantments when it attacks. Utopia Sprawl. They spent 2 mana for that, and I'm going to remove it immediately. Unless it casts another spell right now. Okay, they were able to flip it back to daytime. Garruk, locked out by my own Thalia. Tough crowd. I'm going to attack here. They didn't block. And I'm just going to let it flip back to nighttime. They can have the Utopia Sprawl for a turn. I feel like I can eat that for free. Eventually. They can get Hex Drinker up to 4/4 this turn, which does slow me down. But it costs them their turn. Hex Drinker's at 2. Hex Drinker's at 3, which makes it a 4/4. And Ornery Tumblewag. Put a +1 counter on target creature at the start of combat. When it attacks while saddled, double the +1 counters on target creature. And this is the type of snowball thing that can really take over. They correctly did not attack with Hex Drinker. And now I'm kind of falling behind. My early start was stopped. Like 2 1-drops on turn 1, or 2 2-drops on turn 1 is different than a 4-drop on turn 1 by a lot. I wonder if I'm supposed to board Thalia out in these creature matchups. She still has first strike. But if this was just some other card from my sideboard, would I be happier? Jesus. This kills either 2 creatures or Garruk and Thalia. And this was on the hard cast also. Yeah, they're going for the 2 creatures because Garruk's just dead to combat anyway. I'm having a bad time playing Selesnya. I'm not going to lie. My deck looked really good. And then you just have 6 mana on turn 1 and then die. Multiple times. In multiple ways. Like I had one opponent just go way over the top of me. And this opponent is just casting things that are better than my things. Because my deck doesn't draw cards. And this is saddled, which means it can double counters. Garruk's going to die here. And I have no outs. Was I supposed to draft those Wrath of Gods that I saw just in case I got into a mirror where they're better than me? And the strip mine. Just a middle finger. Another one. Kicking your ass. Right. Yeah, I drew my one removal spell. It doesn't matter though. GG's. I'm learning so much. On to the final round. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. I'm on the play in the final round. I have no white mana in my hand, but I do have a turn 2 Nissa Who Shakes the World. I'm going to keep. And I think I'm just going to Forest go. Once again, sandbag that I have a 5-drop for turn 2. Opponent had Godless Shrine, shocked it in and passed. Oh god, if this gets mana tithed, it's over. It's over for me. Okay, Mox Ruby. Mox Emerald. Do I think this is more likely Mana Tithe or Entomb or Fatal Push? I could just play Bristly Bill, hit my land drop. Alright, I'm gonna wuss out here. Bristly Bill gets +1. Shocking that in was such a sell. If that was just basic Plains Go, I would have shoved. And they didn't use the mana. Now I think it is Mana Tithe. Prismatic Ending. See you later, Bill. Alright, we got them to tap out of their Mana Tithe at least. Thalia. Alright, well, this card better win because I don't have any follow-up. Attack for 3. I just need a Plains and we're good. Or Lotus Petal or Black Lotus. Council's Judgment. See you later, Nissa. Okay, I have a 3/3. Can I draw a Plains? A Plains? A Plains, please. Oh my god, another white card. Is this the best deck I'm going to 0-3 with? Maybe this deck's just bad. I don't know. Okay, they passed the turn. I have Outland Liberator now. At least a spell I can cast. An attack with this Forest. Just keep doing that. Path to Exile. That's funny. I'll get a Plains. Yes. Yes, we're free. Alright. Outland Liberator. They're fetching in the end step down to 11. Commercial District. Their life total is at 11. I'm almost halfway there. Sam can get back this Wooded Foothills and become the Ring Bearer. Wooded Foothills fetch Taiga. And they have Omnath after making a land drop, fetch land drop for the turn. Okay, another Plains. This means I can double spell. Suddenly able to cast cards. I could also play and equip Umezawa's Jitte. I don't think that's good though. I think I want Thalia plus Stoneforge Mystic. Thalia, Stoneforge, get Cauldra. This Omnath is going to be a chore. Another fetch land. Just ready to go off completely. Gain 4 life. Do you want 4 mana also? Hell yeah. All of my opponent's decks so far in this league have really helped sell my general cube belief system, which is don't die early and then have inevitability. All of my opponents have either been really good at not dying early or they've had inevitability once things fall off. And my deck is not good at either of those things. And I'm not saying aggro decks can't be good at those things, but this deck is not good at those things. They took my Stoneforge and they made a Shorikai, who I can kill with Liberator. Hero of Bladehold. They have the Monarch, and my Stoneforge Mystic is under the Monarch. I can't double spell here because of the white requirements. If I play Adeline and then attack with Thalia and Outland Liberator, they have to block all of the creatures, but they only lose one of theirs. I think Bladehold is the better bet here. I have to get through and take the Monarchy back and get my Stoneforge back if I'm going to win this game. Shorikai is happening. Should I blow this up right now? I think I can wait. I don't know. I'm getting buried, but I also need this creature. Omnath gains 4. No fetch land this time. Sweet relief. Staff of the Storyteller. One of my favorites. I could destroy Staff now before it charges again, because Shorikai start charging Staff. I've literally played this deck in Legacy. I think I'll hold until combat, or at least until when they start activating stuff. Savannah lets me play Adeline. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. And now I have Battle Cry, so I'm going to get in there. Start being the problem I want to see in the world. Battle Cry at the bottom. Make a 1-1, make 2 1-1s. Shorikai's making another homie. I can let Staff of the Storyteller charge. I don't think that's what's going to change my game here. That one extra card versus having this one extra attacker. Omnath is eating the hero. No surprise there. We're basically trading our entire boards. I can let you keep Sam if I can destroy Shorikai. I think that's fine. Thalia's first strike. Omnath is bigger than hero. And then second main, Monastery Mentor. Let's go. Try to get back in this. Manitai, that was right. They had it. I forgot. They sandbagged that so long. But the read was right on turn 1, though. Yeah, I forgot that was there. I had already identified that it was. We did know about that, and they got me. My next land cast Cauldron, though, and now they can't tie that. Ridiculous Archive and gain 4. They bin to Forest. I am currently taking the Monarch if the board doesn't change. Surely their 7 cards in hand don't do anything. Lotus Petal. Oh, God. Thalia, why? All right. Yeah, Thalia is making Cauldron cost 8, and specifically Lotus Petal doesn't fix that problem. I think I'm willing to sacrifice Adeline to get the Monarch and my Stoneforge Mystic back. Oh no, they're tapping mana. How unlucky. That clears out everything except Thalia, which is the card that I actually want gone. And they know about Cauldron, and they know my Thalia is locking it out. Another 4 life from Omnath. They're up to 25. They have 10 cards left in their deck, though. They do have to come up with a way to win. Big Teferi can win a game. Certainly. Tucked Thalia. They know I have a haste creature in hand. They have 5 cards. They're about to draw another one. Kasali Pride Mage. Okay, here's Cauldron. Show me literally anything. Yep, Reprieve is pretty good. And I'm drawing Thalia next turn. All right, we're cool. We're cool. Okay, what do I do? Is there a way to improve this deck that I am now pretty sure sucks? Flame Slash and Firebolt. Flame Slash kills Omnath, which was the thing that really turned that game around for them. I could just bring in big stuff like Bonehorde Dracosaur and try to grind with the Planeswalkers later. I think that's a huge punt, though. All right, I'm going to just do the Flame Slash thing. 1 Forest, Mulligan. Oh my god. I will keep this, even though I suspect it's a death sentence. Savannah go. They've got a Thundering Falls, Big Teferi. Love seeing that go. Outland Liberator. Staff of the Storyteller. Ooh, that's something I can blow up. Nissa. If I get to 5 mana, I have something to do now. Okay, I can hold up Interrupter. I can flip it into Nighttime. Tempo deck. Delver of Secrets. Let's go. The Spirit Token is allowed to connect. You got me. And they played no other card. I'm going to move to combat and try to kill the Staff of the Storyteller. They're drawing a card before it dies. Yeah, free launch. Get it, get it, get it. Okay, somehow ahead. Still no spell. Abrade. They can cast that next turn. I could touch the Spirit Realm this thing out of play. I think that's what I want to do. Just move that around. It'll be back in their end step. That was really intense patience to just let their card die when they had the Abrade. That makes me think they have a counterspell. If they were willing to lose such a powerful resource like that and take 3 just to avoid tapping out, I'm choosing to read that as counterspell. You're up. Luckily for me, I could play this weird Selesnya flash game. Minskin Boo. I'm going to interrupt that. That costs 2 mana next turn. Temporary Reprieve, but is an insanely deadly card. Okay. What does this do? I make an XX token, where X is its loyalty. It comes in on 3. I can destroy target artifact or enchantment. I'm going to attack first. I think all I can really do here is shove damage and hope some of it connects. Make a 4/4. That's big enough to trade with the Boo token, and then I get a 5/5 on the following turn. Burden Catacombs, fetch to 6. Wrath of God, and then the Minskin Boo follow-up. Oh no, it's so perfect. I'm going to take 1 draw step and then concede this game. I guess they're at 6, and I'm holding It's just up to them how they want to do it. They're sacking a creature. They're going to kill Mentor and draw 4. That's pretty good. They're bringing to light for 5 colors. Getting the Omnath, who draws a card. It's turn 7, so they still have a land drop. Generous Ent will be that land drop. Lush Portico gains 4 life and gets a bunch of selection. Lotus Petal, alright. I mean, it casts Cauldra, which they no longer care about, because they're no longer at 6, and they have a blocker and a consistent way to gain life. I'm actually going to attack Minskin Boo and guarantee that I either clear Omnath or the Planeswalker, because I don't think just going face is going to win this game. Alright, they get their hamster. 7 cards in hand. What could go wrong? Meticulous Archive. Cap the card. 4/4 trample. They're attacking, which means they can either close the game out next turn or they have other answers to Cauldra. Yep, I'll take one more draw. They're voting for Cauldra. I'm going to vote for Germ. Scoreboard. I will never comply. Unexpectedly absent. That is too late. Okay. Well, got my ass kicked 0-3 in a deck with 3 pieces of power in it. But this deck really does fail all of the things that I want out of a cube deck. Even considering interaction as just removal. Like, there's no Swords to Plowshares, no Solitude. Maybe I should have main decked these red cards after all, just recognizing the weakness of the deck. Should have recognized that Student of Warfare is never going to do anything in this 2-color deck that is trying to jump to 3, 4, 5 mana. We also just got clowned in games where we spent 5 or 6 mana on turn 1, where, I mean, that's just the power of cube. That round 1 opponent, if they're just not a Reanimator deck, I think they get run over, but they are. That's a thing that's supported in cube, and you have to respect that with your deck building. And having Thalia, some Disenchants, Touch the Spirit Realm unexpectedly absent is not enough interaction for a deck. Obviously no trophy this time, quite the opposite. I will be doing another one of these to air someday. Femi, you're on the hook for another draft. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.